Good morning, and thanks for stopping by GardenStateWeather.com, New Jersey and the Northern Mid-Atlantic region's weather news portal. I'm forecaster Robert Smith, and this is the daily video forecast discussion for Friday, October 28th, 2011. And we've got snow on the way for Saturday. This is an anomalous nor'easter that will be impacting the New Jersey, New York City, and very later Philadelphia metropolitan area. The impacts of this storm might be enough to bring down substantial power lines and trees across southeastern New York, interior Connecticut, and also out into the Poconos and northwestern New Jersey. We'll get into all the details in just a moment. Friday morning, really quickly, waking up with frost and freeze out here in the Poconos and northeastern Pennsylvania. Frost, a lot of areas here across northern New Jersey into New York City. Winds are light and temperatures are generally up or below the freezing mark, generally from northwestern New Jersey into the Poconos. And then in the city, they're around 39 to 43. Even temperatures are along the shoreline this morning. That's how chilly the low levels are this morning, with generally clear skies. You see these clouds here, they're basically just dissipating, high pressure building in today. This is a calm before the storm. This is the time to go to the store, get power supplies, because if the power goes out on Saturday night, which it often will, probably in areas across upstate New York, across Orange and into Westchester and Putnam counties, and also into Connecticut, and parts of northwestern New Jersey and the Poconos area of Lehigh Valley area and Berks County in Pennsylvania. If we do get into power outages by tomorrow night, you're going to want to make sure that you have your supplies, batteries, flashlights, and backup power, because we've got quite a storm on the way. But getting back to reality here for today, right now temperatures in the 30s and lower 40s with generally clear skies. Okay, we got a lot of watches, warnings, and advisories here, but all the ones that you're seeing here in these beautiful colors on this map are reflective of part and parcel to freeze warnings that are going on this morning, freeze warnings until this morning across New Jersey, frost advisories into New Jersey, but these out here, these are gale warnings along the coast, and these are going to be in effect until 6 to 8 a.m. on Sunday. Some areas might even experience these until 12 noon. On Sunday as well, and that's because we got a powerful nor'easter that's going to be affecting us with rain, wind, and snowfall. Inland coastal flood advisories until this evening too. These areas up in here which are not covered yet, Sussex County, Warren County, out into the Pennsylvania region, these areas that are blank in here now actually are undergoing winter storm watches or warnings. Winter storm watches actually in this area, and winter storm watches also in these areas that I'm pointing to here and up and through Connecticut too. So the advisories that you're seeing now are not the ones that are going to be posted on this map for tomorrow, but I'm here to tell you that's what's going to happen. Let's go now. Eastern water vapor imagery shows high pressure in control as the front has passed well to the south. Now, I have this overlaid here with not only the frontal boundary, but this is the remnants of what was Hurricane Rina. It's now about 15 miles west of Cancun at 2 o'clock this morning. You can see some of the convection here is beginning to fire up and then die out and refire up again. It's moving to the west-northwest at only about 5 knots, so there are thunderstorms that are going to try to reorganize in this area again. And there's not a whole lot of shear in this area yet, but the shear is going to be ingested into this as this deep storm begins to pull out here of the Texas Panhandle into Arkansas, and it's going to change the shear environment around here, so the shear is going to increase. So Rena is going to have a hard time getting back on its feet again. But this will still be a little bit of an influence here on our weather for the next 48 hours. Now, meanwhile, I've overlaid this with the low-level winds. These are the low-level winds between 10,000 feet down or 5,000 feet down to the surface. And basically what you can see across the front here from Texas to from Louisiana all the way to Texas, we've got west winds on the west side of the front and southerly flow ahead of it. This is an indication here that even in the low levels, a jet is beginning to develop here, because in the mid-levels of the atmosphere, if we look at the mid-level winds at 10 to 20,000 feet, find strong west winds here, and this is a mid and low level jet couplet that is going to be developing across this region. This is deepening low pressure with a short wave here, another influence from very strong troughing developing over the upper Midwest. This whole thing is going to be moving to the Carolina coast. And it's very important because by the time this gets off the coast on Saturday afternoon and Saturday night, to a point probably southeast of Long Island by early Sunday morning, there's going to be an extensive blow-up or drop of pressure, bombogenesis going on, and this is going to form frontogenetic forcing, snow banding, precipitation coming down at very heaviest and copious rates, and that's why winter storm watches are going to be up for this area, and very heavy rainfall with precipitable water values anywhere from 1 to 2 inches. Now, that doesn't mean that it's going to rain 1 to 2 inches. It means that the atmosphere is going to be plenty moist, and when we get into the colder sector, snow ratios are going to be high, or not so high actually, because it's going to be a wet content to the snow, and that's what we're concerned with power outages and also with tree limb damage coming down as well. Okay, I'm going to run through this quickly. This is the GFS forecast precipitation type. The green is rain, and the blue is snow, and freezing rain would be the yellow colors here. This is this is early this morning's run, and it's basically showing you where the rain is going to develop, get heavy, and then eventually it's going to transition into snow around here, and the GFS keeps it mostly rain along the coast and getting into snow before it departs here Saturday afternoon and Saturday night. Now, that's the last night's run, or this morning's run. Let's take a look at last night's run of the GFS, trying to do the same kind of thing, rain, going into very wet snow, and then exiting. Now, what's interesting is the GFS has compromised and come back a little bit further west, stronger banding of snow in this area. So that's something that the GFS has been on. Now, the NAM model has been further east with its track, and south of the bench, just slightly south of the benchmark over the last 2 runs, and therefore brings in much colder air, more frontogenetic forcing, because it's a much more of a convective model with many more horizontal and many more vertical layers of data in which to show. So it's going to show something that's going to be a little bit farther interesting. If we looked at last night's NAM model run, we can see the rain developing across the area Saturday, spreading in, changing rapidly to snow, and then getting increasingly heavy through central New Jersey into the Hudson Valley by tomorrow evening. And then if we looked at this morning's run of the NAM precipitation type, the rain changing into snow rapidly and then moving out across the area into southern New England rapidly. Now, this is the NAM's snow overlay, which is showing the amounts of precipitation from the model output coming out this morning. The lighter blue colors are 10 inches, the darker blue colors are 8 inches, and then we have spikes of 12 inches to 14 inches here from just south of Westminster in Pennsylvania and Delaware, in Maryland rather, all the way up through Trenton, New Jersey. Now, of course, this is a model graphic showing probably the overdoneness here of the situation, but it gives you an idea of where and this model has been gangbusters on the snow, especially up towards Westchester and back towards New Milford, and then further inland too. So this just gives you a general idea of what the model is seeing. It's not going to be absolutely correct. These snow amounts obviously are going to have to factor in first of all, precipitable cooling, warm ground, for example. So these are not going to be amounts that you're going to see on the ground, but the idea of the graphic here is to show you how intense this model is in terms of frontogenetic forcing, to show the heaviest amounts of precipitation, not necessarily where the heaviest snow is going to be, but it might have an idea of where the heaviest snow may wind up, but these amounts look extremely overdone. We don't have this morning's output as of early this morning from the GFS, so we're going to use last night's run of the GFS, which is probably a lot more considerate of the time of the year and the boundary level temperatures. A very finite definitive line or striping here of colorization on the map details where the rain and snow line is going to be, and probably also where the heaviest snow will be. Now, this is a storm total forecast from the model. It's not, but it gives you a better idea here. The larger pink colors in here, upper Westchester County, up into Springfield, Mass, and into Connecticut here, we could see better than a foot of snow in some locations. This is a very high estimate. And probably also out into Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, the Lehigh Valley area, into the Poconos here, and then getting into northern New Jersey, anywhere from 2 to basically 6 or 7 inches of snow. It's really going to depend on where the heaviest snow banding, the deformation areas are so typical of nor'easters in classic winter fashion. So these amounts here give you a generalization. Very hard to pinpoint forecast for snow amounts because, first of all, folks, at this time of the year, you have to deal with the fact that we are boundary level temperatures. This is the first snowfall of the season. Models are not going to get everything correct, and also you have to be in consideration not only at the time of the year, but elevation dependent. So we know that there's going to be a major snowstorm here tomorrow night in many areas, but the problem is it going to be strong enough initially when it's starting to change over to stick to the ground? The biggest concern obviously would be for the snow to pile up on trees and then take down power lines as the winds and gradient become stronger. Each model, depending on which one you look at, whether it's the Euro, the GFS, or the NAM WRF model, a significant winter event is on the way, and we could see amounts of snow anywhere from 1 to 4 inches, and in many areas north and west of New York City, back into the Poconos and upstate New York and back into portions of Massachusetts and Connecticut, we could see better than 6, even 8 inches of snow in some of these locations. Now, I went a little bit overboard on the time today, obviously, so we're going to have to cut this short now. But I will try to update on Saturday morning as possible, and to try to update the website as long as possible. I've been out of my other job for a couple of days, and my workload is going to be increased today and tomorrow, so it's obviously going to make it very difficult for me to keep up with all of this. But you've got my preliminary thoughts, and all your forecast information is available right on the website. Any strong or additional changes will be either emailed or text or updated right on the website, of course. So you make it a good Friday, a preparation day, obviously the calm day before the storm, an anomalous nor'easter for late October with rain, snow, and wind coming to the New Jersey, New York, Philadelphia metropolitan area on Saturday and Saturday night. And by the way, Sunday and Monday, Halloween will be okay. Clouds do increase on Monday afternoon and Monday evening, and we could get some more showers around here or even rain during the day on Tuesday and Tuesday night. We'll get into that, obviously, tomorrow and over the weekend. So, you have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you again bright and early on Saturday morning. For GardenStateWeather.com, I'm forecaster Robert Smith. Make it a great day.